Welcome back, you beauties, to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, live right here on SABC3, where the stage is yours. And now we're getting onto the stage, hopping onto that game review on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah, man. We're going to have a little bit of fun. It's going to take us through Japanese lore and tradition, bit of action adventure for both PC and console. It looks like the guys are going to have a lot of fun with this one. It's Sekiro, Shadows Die. Not
Twice.
Twice.
So time for some gaming on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. And for this morning's game review, we're taking a trip back in time to the 16th century Japan in the highly acclaimed action-adventure Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. And as you can see from what's happening on screen right now, you're basically a ninja with an awesome-looking sword who fights bad guys. What's not to like? Come on. Welcome, Gareth. Lucky to have you, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. I like this from the get-go. I've been watching you play just a little bit. What's the story, man? Taking a trip down in history or down a memory lane a little bit, but it's fantasy world vibe.
Yeah, so it is a fantasy, but it is themed on kind of like historical Japan. I'm not sure the exact time frame, but yeah, essentially it's Japanese themed, but it's still obviously fantasy. So there's still, you know, monsters and mythical creatures and that to fight as well. But yeah, very Japanese themed. All
right, dude, but first and foremost, by the look of it and the way you move, it looks very, very cool and pleasing to play.
Yeah, so it's a FromSoftware game. They've always prided themselves on almost one of the bad guys is the environment. Not that the environment's difficult, but it almost becomes like another character in kind of the mood it sets. All the games are this very kind of ominous, you know, as I look around, there's a very kind of inspired palette as it's going on here. And what's great is if anything you can kind of see in the background, you can get to. So it's not just a sprite that, you know, if you're seeing that mountain there, it's like, you know, that's just part of the background. If you travel around the map, everything's kind of connected and you can get to that mountain and you'll be looking down in this area, even though it's miles away. So they've always been really good at that with their games.
Now, you mentioned FromSoftware, who developed the game. Of course, from what I understand, they're also notorious for making quite difficult games.
Yes.
Is this the same for Sekiro?
So one of the things that's going around the internet at the moment is, like, should games like this have an easy mode? Because, like, are they accessible enough? And a lot of people going, no, that's the point. They're meant to be difficult. They're meant to be, you know, that's like part of the gameplay is that they're meant to be this kind of difficult sort of thing you need to get over. But yeah, I mean, I understand that's part of the challenge. They've designed it as a way that it's always a meme in kind of the Souls games, like get good. If you want to enjoy the game, then you need to get good.
Yeah, so you gotta spend some hours and you get your time.
They're difficult, but they're very rewarding. I mean, it's one of those games where I've been stuck on certain bosses for 2-3 days, and then you beat them, and it's just like this moment where you've just arrived. You know, like I know kung fu now. You know.
Oh wow! Okay. Look, that's brilliant. I mean, obviously, also a lot goes into the game in terms of, you know, the customization, what you're able to do, what you're able to control. What can we see from this game?
So in this game, a lot of people are saying it's not as customizable as the previous games, like the Dark Souls series. The one, because in this sense, like, your character looks the same. He does, you know, use the same katana the whole way through, as opposed to some of the other games where you're collecting weapons and armors and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
But the one thing here is you've got this prosthetic arm. So it was cut off in the first kind of battle with one of the bosses. You use an arm, and this guy saves you from the battlefield, and he attaches this prosthetic arm, and you can do different things with it. So you've got all these different attachments I'll show you here. So you can choose 3 at any time. The one has got this loaded axe, one throws shurikens. You can have this firecracker, which kind of scares beasts and kind of animals. But as well as that, you've got poison dagger. You've got this umbrella, which, for example, if I show you, you know, someone's about to attack me, I can quickly chuck that out and deflect their blows. And you've got a whole bunch of others. This flamethrower. You got this one that makes you kind of disappear for a second to reposition. So, and that's where the game becomes quite customizable. Is you can change the way you play the game based on the prosthetics you use.
All right, cool. Dude, just before we wrap up, what's some of your favorite features of the game? What really stood out for you?
Yeah, so it's definitely the gameplay and the fighting. The one thing that they've done very different to previous games is that it's not just rolling and dodging and avoiding fights and then, you know, hitting when you have an opening. This game is very much about what's called poise. So when you fight an enemy, unfortunately I can't show too much of that because it's a little bit violent, but when we fight an enemy, you can deflect, and you see that I'm guarding with my katana. You can essentially block and deflect, and as the person's trying to attack you and you block them, you break their poise or their posture, and eventually they can be on full health, but if their posture's broken, then you can go for a finishing blow. And so a lot of it is not only, you know, being offensive and attacking and all that sort of stuff, but it's also about trying to deflect blows and eventually, you know, get your enemy off. As you can see, there's a massive snake here.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, that's
right.
I'm going to try and see if I can show this off to you here. Just avoid these little baddies.
Critters. Oh, wow, there's so many things going on.
Yeah, they are all...
Oh, my goodness. All right, dude.
There's a lot going on here. Let's see if we can get to this part here. Oh, someone's trying to attack me. So that warning is when, you know, there's a perilous attack, so something's about to strike you. Those yellow warnings are that someone can see me. Oh, there's our snake. Let's just sit here.
Let's quickly take a look at the snake. Oh, that thing is massive.
Yeah,
okay. I can definitely see there's a lot of heart palpitations that's going to go with this game, is for sure. Gareth, thank you very much for joining us. I'm going to keep watching you a little bit more. But listen, let us know. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, brand new game out on the PS4. It's what we're playing it on. It's on different platforms.
It's on also on PC and Xbox One.
PC and Xbox One as well. That's our game review for this morning.